see, 5:45, gotta get there at 6 a.m. So we're doing better. I've been leaving at 5:55. Like the last 3 days have been fucking probably on the same weather, but windy, and that shit fucks me up. Right now it's not that bad. But anyways, I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind recently, and that's been crashing out on my kid. You know, my dad will sometimes send me podcasts about whatever, like, oh, the top 5 reasons why your kid's not listening to you. It's like child experts talking about raising kids and the techniques and blah blah. Just like, not because he's trying to say like, yo, you're doing a horrible job, but just in general trying to give me like advice or some reference points. And I'm like, you know what, this is good, I'm gonna watch it later. And I never got around to it, but the other day I got around to it, and they were talking about how they're like, oh, is this you sometimes when your baby, you know, doesn't listen to you? Do you find yourself getting emotionally, you know, angry and upset and crashing out emotionally? Well, that's what your child's learning and blah blah blah. And they're like, and to myself I was thinking, I'm like, you know what, that is me. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I be crashing out on my kid. I mean, she be fucking wildin' though. I mean, not really, I guess, you know. She's not like no David no, but she do be, you know, she be testing me. And so she skipped terrible twos. Now she's in her crazy era, you know, about to be 4 years old. Her twos were whatever. Her twos were actually cute. They were not that bad. 3-year-old is where she's getting crazy, because now she fully talks, and now she can say no, I don't want to, or I'm not gonna do it. And I'm like, yo, you have to do it, because I'm your fucking father, and you better do as I say, right? But apparently that's wrong. Now look, I grew up kind of scared of my dad. When that motherfucker came in the room, I was like, all right, fine, I'll stop. And she kind of has that, where I walk in, if I'm angry and I walk in, she'll kind of act right a little bit, but like 50% of what I did. Maybe it's because my dad used to hit me. I'm not hitting her yet. Nah, I don't know. I want to not hit her. However, I don't think it's the end of the world if I were to hit her. Let's put it that way. I'm not talking about child abuse. I'm just saying, if you cross a certain line, I'm gonna have to spank your ass. I haven't thus far, but I'm just saying. I wouldn't say it's the end of the world if that happened. You know, my dad used to hit us with a belt on my ass. That's about it, to be honest. But he hit us pretty fucking hard. So my mom used to hit us with a chancla, her hand, the belt, I guess. Sometimes she used to pull our ears, pull like the little hair on my sideburn. I was gonna say we, but I'll speak for myself. I was scared of more of my dad. But yeah, the video was talking about pretty much, you know, when you are angry, you have to look at the baby, make a connection with the baby first before you give an instruction, right? Before you can say, stop doing that, X, Y, and Z. Or, all right, say the baby's crashing out and you want to be like, hey, you can't throw a tantrum, all right? Why don't you just talk to me? What do you want? Or whatever. You can't be like, hey, stop, or whatever. You have to, they say you have to make a connection first. Oh, why are you throwing a tantrum? Oh, it's this guy from last time. Hey, I remember him from last week. The R1, I'll catch him. Screw it, let's go. Yeah, they say you have to make a connection with the baby first. And bro, sometimes when the baby starts bugging out, I'm like, stop. She's like, no, starts kicking and whatever. I'm like, yeah, you can't be hitting me. I'm asking you to stop. You can't be hitting me. And then she just won't listen. My mind goes into crash out mode. And I just be crashing out low key. Now, when I say crash out, I don't mean I start hitting the kid or I start screaming crazy. No. But there comes a point where I just sit her ass down physically. and I'll talk really like sternly, I found myself screaming once or twice. Not my proudest moment, because then I'm like, yo, you're a 3-year-old. What the fuck what am I screaming at you for? You're 3. It's 6 a.m. Do you think he's going to work too? Damn, them pops fell out. What the fuck? Well, I can't feel my legs anymore. That's how cold it is. The good news is I can't feel my legs anymore. Hence, I don't feel any more cold. Fucking beaner. Oh my god. Then they ask why they don't like us. Oh my god. I just know he's a fucking Mexican, that fucking cyclist who just got in front of me. Either a fucking Mexican or a Guatemalan. I know. This is exactly where I ran into this guy last time. At this stoplight. But yeah, I found myself arguing with a 3-year-old, and I was like, brother, she's 3. There's no way I'm crashing out right now. And yeah, so they say, you know, you can't be crashing out and expect the baby not to crash out, even if the baby's the reason. You know, you gotta stay calm, and even when you're arguing with her, you still have to, you know, take a deep breath, whatever, because that's literally what the baby's seeing. When there's some sort of conflict, the baby's literally learning as it's testing you. You know, I'm not gonna lie though, the last 2 days I've been really, because I had her for the weekend, the last 2-3 days I've been really putting that into effect. I mean, she wasn't that bad, but I was like, you know what, I guess it kind of works. You know, like saying, oh, why are you mad? No, stop crying, look at me, why are you mad? And the baby's like, oh, because I wanted the cookies. I'm like, and that's why you slapped the shit out of grandpa? Yeah, I just want to, oh. But I'm like, all right, we can't fucking do that. I don't curse, but in my mind, I'm like, we can't fucking do that. This is a civilized society, supposedly. She's like, okay. I'm like, that is not okay. We cannot hit. We have to be nice. Okay. Go outside and say sorry to grandpa. And she'll kind of hesitate a little bit, like she don't want to, but she ends up doing it, you know. Sorry, grandpa. And you know what? While I'm on the topic of grandpa, that motherfucker used to beat the shit out. Nah, he didn't beat the fuck out of us. I'm lying. But he used to hit us, right? And he used to be really strict. Like I said, I used to be scared of this nigga. And obviously, he's really lenient with Lila. Yeah. Okay, we all know that. Okay, that's how grandpas are. But this motherfucker, this nigga be too lenient. To the point where I'm like, my brother in Christ, I have to discipline her. I have to grab her rough or scream at or whatever. Sometimes he's like, nah, just leave it, it's fine. I'm like, what do you mean it's fine? She just slapped the shit out of you. He's like, relax, it didn't hurt me. I'm like, it's not about hurting you, you cock. I can't have her doing that. But yeah, my dad's really, he's too lenient with her. Which is whatever, you know. He's supposed to be that way, I guess. My mom's very, you know, she lets me discipline the kid. I mean, he lets me too. I mean, he got no choice. It's my kid. But oftentimes he's like, no. Like, it's fine. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, no, it was a big deal, though. Because she just slapped the shit out of you. I'm thinking the biggest problem is always usually my hands. Now, these gloves are all right up until, like, 35 degrees. Anything below 35, I mean, they're okay. They're not useless. But my hands are cold right now. Again, wasn't that bad today, so it's not that bad. But sometimes when it is that bad and it's fucking windy and I have just these gloves on, I'll be in shambles. So I had heated gloves before. They were okay, I guess, and they broke though. They were not good quality. And then I had heated grips, a bit better. And then I got my motorcycle stolen. So I'm debating if I want to get heated grips or not. I don't know. But also, I don't plan on staying with this motorcycle for too long. I want to upgrade to an R7 sooner rather than later. And I'm not saying right away, but you know, I kind of don't want to invest that. Oh, although they're not really expensive, I guess. But I got scared of my own shadow. I think I might get heated grips. Again, they're not crazy expensive, so you know, why not? Heated grips, and then maybe like a heated vest, maybe. I don't know. I'm debating it. Because it'd be brick as fuck.